Jet Pets, check your time. It is exactly 10:30 on Detox, the Midday Oasis. We're only just getting started on the show today. Thank God it's Friday. I told you earlier that I was expecting guests in the studio, and yes, I have company right now. Our friends from Takafo Insurance Limited are in the studio to speak to us in details about insurance and how it benefits you and anything that has to do with you getting benefits from something. I'm telling you the truth, it always interests me. That's why we should be having this conversation right now. Ismai'il is in the studio, and he's the I'm trying to find your designation on your card here.
Head of
I can't
retail.
find it. But you know what, he's in the studio, so I'm just going to let him introduce himself as per what he does for the company, and then we can go ahead and speak a lot more about Takafu Insurance. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
My name is Ismai'il. I'm the head of retail North Takafu Insurance Limited.
Well, good to have you in the studio. So
Thank you.
let's see how we can talk about insurance and get people to be, get into the business of insurance. Speak to us specifically about your company and your insurance. I mean, what is it about?
Okay, thank you very much. North Takafu Insurance Limited, we got our license of operation from NICOM in the year 2016 as a Takafu operator in Nigeria, and specifically in 3rd of January 2017 we started full operation.
Okay.
Our major business is hinged on the concept of Takafu Insurance, which literally means joint guarantee.
Okay.
And by our logo, by our slogan, is a win-win insurance. It's more of a cooperative insurance, is a joint guarantee, where North Takafu as a Takafu operator only manages the participant fund for their benefits.
Okay.
So we have the participants who, one way or the other, will purchase our Takafu products, and in so doing, North Takafu Insurance Limited as a Takafu operator will now manage the participants fund on their behalf, and whatever happens within the confines of the participant fund stays there.
Okay.
The participant fund at the end of the day, one way or the other, will benefit the participant by way of claims payment, and for any participant in any particular year, depending on the product he or she has purchased, does not make a claim, he equally will be entitled to what is known as surplus distribution. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a win-win situation for our participants.
I know that there are different insurance companies, and everyone has got their model, and so far you have my attention already when you say win-win, because this is what people should be interested in. But specifically, if you could talk to us about the model, if you want to break it down to what you guys are into as your insurance business, what would you say about that?
Thank you very much. We are a composite Takafu operator, what is known in the conventional wing as the composite insurance business.
Okay.
What that simply means is that we operate both general Takafu businesses, likewise we operate life Takafu businesses. What we mean by life Takafu businesses, simply put, under Takafu operations we call it family Takafu. And family Takafu is similar to what we have as life insurance in the conventional wing. Like I said, the operation and the model of operation is hinged on the fact that we are a fund manager and we call ourselves a Takafu operator.
Okay.
And by the nature of the product we offer, be it general Takafu or family Takafu, the participants will purchase the product for their benefits and will manage their funds for them.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, we only be entitled to what is known as an agency fee for managing that fund for them. And at the end of the day, that fund will generate a certain profit which will be shared by the participants.
All right.
At the end of the day, majorly, what we are doing here is simply a concept of a risk sharing mechanism, which is typical to Takafu operation. When we compare that to what we have in the conventional wing, is always a risk transfer situation where the insured transfers its risk to the insurer.
Because I was just wondering, I mean, from what you've said, I like the idea about, okay, let's take the risks and manage a business, and then you get the profit. God forbid, but when something goes wrong, I mean, what happens to an investment?
The more reason why we call it an insurance business, or a Takafu insurance business. We are in this business to pay claim. We're in this business to settle claim. But because the concept rallies around what is known as mutuality, and it rallies around what is known as joint guarantee, the participants fund that we are managing as a Takafu operator, definitely one way or the other, they are a claim could arise at any point in time, because that's the whole essence of the whole the insurance itself.
Yes.
So where a claim occurs for any of the participants, the joint guarantee mechanism comes to play.
Okay.
The participant that has suffered that claim will definitely be indemnified by North Akafu within the confines of the participants fund.
Yeah.
And we are now saying here now that, assuming there is no claim in any particular financial year, one unique principle of Takafu that clearly differentiates from the conventional wing is that the people that do not make claim in a particular year will still be able to enjoy what is known as surplus distribution.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation.
We're going to get to that surplus because I like it. Because, the whole idea about insurance, sometimes people say, oh, yeah, I'm paying my premium, I'm putting in this money, and for a whole year, I haven't exactly made any claim. If I know that at the end of the year, if I haven't made any claim, but I still get something in return, it sounds like a good motivation not to even try to make a false claim or go into some fishy business. We'll talk more about that one, but I understand there's been you guys have been embarking on a road show. It's been like a week-long event, trying to, put in word out there about the insurance business. Why was there a need for this, though?
Thank you very much. The need for it stems from the fact that North Akafu actually, the startup for North Akafu operation was in Kano.
Okay.
And over time, we discovered that we have to come back home because it has been tested down the south, down the east, down the west, and it has become very successful. And people have actually embraced it. So we think we have to come back home and sensitize our people here, because that is where this is where it all started.
Yeah.
So we've been here since the beginning of the week, and by God's grace, we actually paid homage to the Emir of Kano, at least to register our presence and to get his blessing. And the following day, we were at Amani Center, where we did an elaborate seminar to the whole Kano populace. Okay. It was a massive event. It was a successful event, and people were actually sensitized of what Takafu is all about. So the whole idea about the roadshow is for us to be able to sensitize the Kano populace with respect to what Takafu is all about.
Yeah.
For them to equally see the benefits that are inherent in this Takafu operation, for them to be able to patronize effectively, so that the value proposition of Takafu will be what they will enjoy at the end of the day. So it's all about sensitization, which at the end of the day we want it to lead to a proper patronage by the people of Kano, which will definitely benefit them, and it will cater for their various needs.
Well, that's good. If you're just joining, it's 96.9 Cool FM. We're speaking to Ismai'il, who's the regional head for North Akafu Insurance Limited. We're speaking about insurance, and they're telling us some of the activities they've been involved in and how you can be a part of this. Now, I understand that, trying to convince people to get into the business of insurance, it may not be the easiest thing to ever do. There's people, there's the lack of trust, there's this and that. But you say you started here in Kano, but you've been able to spread. How are you able to do this? How are you able to convince people to get into this insurance?
Thank you very much. People do have an erroneous impression about insurance, and a couple of massive people out there do not even tend to they have this very dodgy idea about insurance. But for us in North Akafu Insurance Limited, we have come to change come to change the game, and equally to let people know that when it comes to insurance, and specifically Takafu Insurance, is a win-win situation. And one of our core values is equity and fairness. And this we've been able to display since we started operation as Sobacas 2016 up till now. We've been going from strength to strength. Yeah. Our customer base has actually grown significantly because they've been able to trust us over time. And that aspect of equity and fairness, which is part of our core value, is what we have demonstrated over the years. And that is exactly what we are doing. So using that as a concept behind our Takafu operation, we've seen that people have embraced it over time. And that trust is what we want to entrench the more. So we are only changing the narrative so that people will trust insurance the more, and they will be ready to patronize.
Right. Let's speak about some of the offerings, some of the products that are available with North Akafu. When you talk about insurance, people just assume, oh, it has to be something for the rich. You have to have something big to be scared of losing before you want to get into the business of insurance. For an average Kano citizen who's listening right now and thinking, this is a good idea, what do they stand to benefit? Speak in detail about some of the things that you have to offer.
Thank you very much. Like I rightly mentioned, our Takafu operation stems across what we call the general Takafu product And likewise, the family takafu product, which in life insurance we call in the conventional insurance we call life insurance. Basically, under our general takafu product, we have a motor insurance, we have fire and special perils. Likewise, we have a good in transit. To put it to a layman how then on the street, what that simply means is that our normal conventional insurance policies for our vehicle, our third-party insurance, we do the same thing under Takafu insurance, and they can benefit tremendously from this. So we are saying that they should come and patronize such, where they do not make a claim in any particular year, they are entitled to surplus distribution. Goods in transit, movement of goods from one hand to the other. Yeah. Kano is a commercial city, a lot of goods move from one hand to the other, and they need to be insured. These are products we offer under our General Takafu insurance products. And so on fire and special peril, you know, we have so many markets in Kano. Nobody prays for any calamity, but the essence of insurance is for us to secure that risk against any unforeseen circumstances that might happen. Yeah. Should in case all those risks crystallizes and the properties are adequately insured, they will be put back as if nothing has happened. They will be indemnified. Outside the general Takafu insurance product, we have the family Takafu insurance product. We even have what we know as the compulsory insurance, the group life insurance. We have it under our family Takafu platform. Yeah. That's an employer who is an employee of labor could lash on to insure the employee within a period of 12 months against death and permanent disability during active service. It's a compulsory insurance, it's part of what we have. Then we have the savings and investment scheme that the normal Kano trader could key into, and it could afford him the opportunity to save over a period of 1 year, 2 years, accumulate a significant sum of money for him to be able to, you know, reinvest into his business over time. While all this is done, there will be returns on investment by way of profit sharing, and if the claim insured against actually happens, I mean, he will be adequately indemnified, put back in his normal position. And if there is no claim, I still want to emphasize, the client in question or the participant will enjoy what is known as a surplus.
Well, you've mentioned this surplus a couple of times, and I think it is only right that we go into talking about this surplus. I hear you guys, I mean, over the years, at the end of the year, you throw in this surplus to people who may not have had any claims. Speak to us in details on how that exactly works, and then tell us, are there plans to continue with this policy, or maybe times are hard, you want to pull back on throwing surpluses around?
Thank you very much. Surplus distribution is a unique feature of Takafu operation generally. It's not found in the conventional insurance practice. And what that simply means is that, going by our slogan, a win-win insurance. You make a claim in a particular year, you'll be properly indemnified. You do not make a claim, you will enjoy surplus. How do we mean? The funds that we gathered from the participant, which we manage as a Takafu operator, will either, you know, at the end of the day, there will be a sort of some form of returns on investment by way of profit sharing on that participant fund. Yeah. And if there is no significant claim in that particular year, that fund will have generated a certain returns. That returns does not belong to us as a Takafu operator. It still belongs to the participants. So where that returns accrued and there is no significant claim within that particular year, it is the returns on the participants fund that will now be plowed back as surpluses, which will be distributed among the participants. But I want to clearly state here that when it comes to surplus distribution, we always ensure that that particular portfolio is profitable. Yeah. So far the portfolio is profitable, we will always distribute surplus. And that we've done consistently for the past 3 years. And for 2020 that we ended about 2 years ago, we are at the verge of distributing 2020 surplus.
Oh, okay. Well, it means there's no stopping the distribution of surplus. I mean, it looks like the feature that stands out with your insurance, so I don't see how you should be stopping that. I mean, we're running out of time. Is there anything you want to add before we can wrap up for today? I wanted to know the distribution process or the sharing formula of the surplus. Does everybody get a certain percentage? Does it depend on how much premium you paid? Or yes. I mean, if you can do that under 30 seconds because we're out of time now.
It depends on your contribution into the pool, and it equally hinges on the fact that if you do not make a claim, you'll be entitled to that. So as much as your contribution is will actually determine what is going to be your surplus at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you so much, Ismai'il, for speaking to us. He's from Takafu Insurance, and he says, you know what, insurance is not just something for the rich. Anyone can take advantage of this, and if you do not even have any claim at the end of the year, there's something they call surplus. it will get to you. So why not pay them a visit and see how you can be a part of it. Again, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much. We have branches in Kano, we have branches in Abuja. Our Kaduna branch is going to open soon. We are in Lagos and we are in Ibadan. Thank you.
Thank you.